Hey guys, welcome to day 14 of PODMAS for the Autism Mommy podcast. This is your girl, Steffi Kiss. If this is your first time tuning in, PODMAS is where I release mini episodes leading all the way up till Christmas to gift you a little sneak peek of topics that you can expect to hear on the upcoming Autism Mommy podcast, which will be releasing on Monday, December 27th. And before we get into today's episode, I just wanted to remind you once again to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. Rate 5 stars. Like I've said before, this is a 5-star podcast. I am a 5-star bitch. You are a 5-star bitch. So let's just give 5 stars all the way around. Also, leave a review. Let me know what you think of PODMAS. Let me know what topics you would like to hear me talk about going forward in the new podcast. And also, if there are any guests you would like to hear on the Autism Mommy podcast. Lastly, subscribe to the podcast so that you never miss an episode. Also, subscribe to my mailing list so you can stay up to date on all things Autism Mommy, on all things Steffi Kiss, any upcoming shows, any upcoming merch, just all types of things that I have planned out for you guys so you can just stay up to date with it. So for today's episode, I want to talk about staying positive and stopping negative thinking. As a human being, it is so easy to fall into negative thinking, and most times we don't even realize we're doing it. It's even more imperative for parents to stay positive and steer clear of the negative thoughts because we are the leaders and tone setters of the household. If you listen to day 11 of PODMAS, where I talked about handling meltdowns, you know how staying calm, cool, and collected can change the trajectory of a meltdown or a tantrum. My son Ethan, for example, mimics everything I do. So if I have a negative aura around me, I just know he's going to tap into that as well as carry that negativity with him. And this doesn't only apply to your kids. Have you ever been around someone who is constantly negative or complaining, and after a while you also start becoming agitated? Even if it's just you getting annoyed with that person for being negative, you have taken on that negative energy. Words and thoughts are powerful. We are beings that can manifest energy, whether it is positive or negative. So I wanted to give you some tips today on how to stay positive and stop all the negative thinking that we are all prone to. The first one would be to focus on the good in your life or the silver linings in a bad situation. So recently, I watched the show, and I'm not going to tell you the name of the show because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but if you know, you know, where there was a funeral scene, and a part of the eulogy said, "How sad, how very, very sad, but for today, let us remember how lucky." They were remembering how lucky they were to have this person in their lives instead of at that moment just mourning the person. Because remaining positive doesn't mean you bury the sadness or negativity. You actually embrace it, but steer your thoughts and your focus to the good times. Number 2, practice gratitude. For some people, this can look like prayer, thanking God for another day and everything in it. Or it can be small, like thanking your partner for washing the dishes or your pet for the cuddles. You want to get in the practice of showing gratitude for the things you appreciate so that you don't take them for granted in the future. Because let's be honest, there will always be times where even the things you are most grateful for can test you. But being grateful to others also reinforces their own positivity. I tell my son every night before bed, "Thank you for being you." Because no one in this world is him, and I want him to know that's amazing. Again, we lead by example. So if you show gratitude to your children, they themselves will also take on that practice and have a positive outlook on who they are. The last tip I'll give today is a huge one for me. We all know negativity and positivity are highly contagious. So if you want to spread positivity, it has to start from within. So practicing positive self-talk is so important. I spoke about this on my old podcast, Do I Look Fat, all the time. Positive self-talk is so important. We tend to be the hardest on ourselves and we're our worst critics. This over time can cause you to form a negative opinion about yourself that can be hard to change. Instead of saying things like, I fucked up or fuck my life, tell yourself you'll do better next time. This little shift in self-talk can go a very long way. It will also show your children how to speak kindly to themselves. Remember, mama, whether you are 21 or 61, you are constantly learning because today is the first time you're ever going to experience today. Don't be so hard on yourself. And as always,
bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job. Bitch, you doing a good job.